He was 47th in the World 9-ball rankings when he arrived in Scotland. Obviously upwardly mobile now, and I think he will go considerably higher than that.
The players know that coming in from the event in Scotland and now playing on these tables at the UK Open, these pockets are a wee bit tighter than what there was up in Scotland, so you could actually see Duan just looking at the potting angle. He's having another look. This shot's scaring him a little bit.
The action throughout the day on Table 2 will continue on the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel. As for our coverage, well, we're concentrating on Table 1, and the second match of the day is about to begin over there. Nguyen Anh Tuan of Vietnam against Andy Finnigan. Next up, by the way, it will be Mark Bijsterbosch, who has got one of the most explosive breaks in the game, against a well-known Premier League footballer, Troy Deeney. He scored his share of goals, I can tell you, at the very highest level of English football. Can he make an impact on the table? As for Table 2, after Duong defeats Spencer Oliver, which surely you will, Ko Ping Han takes on Seo Siao of South Korea. Then it's Konrad Yuzhushin against a fellow called Carl Boys. Never heard of him. And Pia Filler, Joshua Filler's wife, is also in action today. So the players just getting ready. I think Andrew Finnigan has experienced the TV cameras before in a big World 9-ball Tour ranking event, none bigger than the US Open, and it was there that he defeated, or should I say he played, not defeated, Shane Van Boening.
Oh, just looking at Table 2 order of play, Phil, I might still be sat in here with you before 1 o'clock. Might be forfeiting already on day 1. Oh, that's a very nice break. Very well controlled. You can see the difference between Johan Chua's break in the previous match to Andrew Finnigan's break here. That was a lot less power, more control with the cue ball, and that's very nice indeed. This is going to come round nicely to find that little gap.
It will be no surprise to know, if you watched the segment of the match that we were watching, that Duong Kwok Hwang did come through against Spencer Oliver 9-2.
Positional shot has gone wrong, though. We would definitely put Andrew as second favourite in this match, but he's a very capable cueist. But under-hitting positional play there will hurt. Still at the table. Got a chance to play a good safety, get the purple 5 on the top rail. And he's played a good cue ball. So that's a good safety after the positional error. Nguyen Anh Tuan brings the jump cue straight out of the bat. A little bit of a surprise because he could go off the left rail near the middle and kick at this ball. Took a gamble with the short stick. It's half paid off. It's a long pot. But look where the green 6 ball has finished.
Yeah, tying up the 6 and the 8 was a real bonus.
Just caught the near jaw. Them pots are going to have to be hit in the centre this week. Chances going awry here. Still big problems here for Andrew though. Potting the 5's okay, but I don't believe he can get into the 8 ball from this angle. It looks quite thin, the pot. I think you just got to pot it, see where the cue ball goes. Oh, he's missed it.
Nguyen Anh Tuan took part in the Premier League pool in Connecticut a month or so ago. Did reasonably well there, finished 11th out of 16. Won 7 of his 15 matches. He actually won 5 straight matches at one point. That included wins in that sequence over Francisco Sanchez Ruiz and Kerping Chung.
Yeah, when Nguyen Anh Tuan played the previous safety, he broke out the green 6 in the 8 ball. So now the rack is open again.
Another result for you. Alexa Pachelch. Watch out for him as the week progresses. He defeated Dario Macedo 9-3.
Good pot. Where's the cue ball? Oh, he's bumped it safe. Can be a funny game, 9 ball. Trying to use the 7 as cover, which he has done. Sometimes you've just got to play the most basics of safety shots. Kicking off a couple of rails looks difficult to get cover though, because there's no balls up at the top end of the table. Always difficult to get some sort of hook or safe. He's run quite close to the rail. No contact made, yeah. After contact, a ball must hit a rail or ball pocketed. So when the cue ball hit the green 6, unfortunately the cue ball or the 6 did not strike a rail. And at this level, giving ball in hand up, well, you're never going to fare too well.
One of those opening racks, typical actually, where both players are finding their feet, getting accustomed to conditions. And it's the match favourite who's just knocked in that routine 9-ball to make the better start. Very interesting scoreline over on table 6, where Nguyen Anh Tuan has recovered from a slow start to lead Mohammed Sufi by 7 racks to 6. Our pal JJ, Jeremy Jones, he's now 5-4 up on Babkin Melkonyan. Michael Feliciano trying to book that meeting with Johan Chura next. Well, Feliciano on the hill against Zoltan Koja at 8-6. Petri Mäkinen of Finland, fine player, being held to 5-5 by Alan Brown from right here in the UK.
Two ball is flying around the table. Can't pot it. Trying to use the 6-ball to play the hook, always a low percentage safety. It's very difficult. You always feel like you're going to leave an edge of the ball. He's left quite a lot of the ball this time. Well done. Using the 3 balls, them little cluster of balls to get the hook. No hesitation as he walks round with the short stick again. Doesn't seem to have a look at the kick shot. This time scratches, so ball in hand, put it anywhere you want. Will he look at a 2-9 combo? Might tempt him because the red 3-ball is covered, but usually the top players don't really like to play the combo unless they feel like it's nailed on.
Well, with the distance between the 2 balls there was an element of doubt, but in goes the combination, and Andy Finnegan is back on level terms at 1-1. Now, I can tell you we've had a change of 3rd match here on the main table, and I'll give you the reasons why. It's a crying shame that Troy Deeney, Watford legend, scorer of so many goals at the very highest level of English football, has been forced to withdraw from the tournament due to injury. We're awaiting an official statement from him, but he's not going to play, so consequently our 3rd match on this table, so the match you're going to see at the end of the one we're watching right now, will be Nguyen Anh Tuan of Vietnam. Relatively unknown player against a player who's very well known and who's very well respected, Anton Raga of the Philippines. So it will be Raga against Tuan. Troy Deeney, I'm afraid, won't be joining us this time, but let's hope he can play in one of our events in the future.
Dry break this time, misses the one ball in the side. Look at all the balls on the right hand side of the table.
The way the draw stacks up, the winner of this match will have a toughie in the next round. Either GJ or Ngoran, or more than likely the American player Jeremy Sosi.
You could see the intention, but it's always a weird shot. It's just something that you never really practice, is it? Yep, good shot. You could see the idea there. He was just trying to open that 5 ball up and stay at the table. Might be tempted in playing the bank in the side pocket. In fact, he should be tempted, because he can stop the cue ball there, which would get him on the pink 4 ball. He's gone for the 9. What a shot he's played there, by the way. Decides to draw the cue ball down table, make the early 9, and win the rack.
That tells me one thing, Colin. I think you'll agree. Yes, of course, Nguyen remains very much favourite to win this match. But I think Andy Finnigan could possibly pull off an upset. It's not beyond the bounds of possibility, not beyond the realms, because he's got the shots and he's got the experience.
Yeah, one thing he's also got is he's a very tidy cueist. Not sure if he has some sort of background in the snooker world or the English 8-ball, but you can see he's a very tidy, compact cueist, Phil, so you don't expect him to miss many balls.
Yes, at this stage of one of these major open events, sometimes you get 2 players who are so far apart, the chasm is so wide that you can't possibly imagine an upset occurring. And yet, with these 2, as I say, Nguyen Anh Tuan still very much regarded as the favourite, but not quite a certainty. After the break-off, I'm going to tell you about an extraordinary match on table 11. In goes the 1. At least he can see the 2. Yeah, the match on table 11, they've been going now for an hour and a half. And Oliver Lawrence is only 5-2 up on Antonius Skakaris. 7 racks in an hour and a half, Carl.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but we're not having the shot clock until the latter stages, it's not so much that the game's slow, Phil, it's the fact that the players, often when they're indecisive on what shot to play, they can be stood there for 2 or 3 minutes before they've actually played a shot. That's the reason for a shot clock. It's just to cut out the dead time. You always feel like there's an obvious shot when playing 9-ball as well. Yeah, there you see another nice pot there from Andrew. He might be sizing up an early win here again. Some sort of 5-9 carom. Can also send the cue ball into the 2 balls. You can never quite rely on being on the purple 5. He's took a gamble. Looks like he's hit it quite well. Oh, this is unfortunate. This is really unfortunate. He took a gamble. Gamble's not paid off. Left a pot, but at least it's a long pot.
Just starting out on table 3 right now. That great character, Naoki Oi, against Stephen Ellis. A direct scratch. Wow. Not the start that Nguyen anticipated.
Not the start at all, but this is what we've been saying. If you can put players under pressure and not, you know, help them relax, you just feel like the more well-known players might make a few more errors, and there is another error.
Well, maybe you're the wrong person to ask this question, Carl, but how can you miss an 8-ball like that?
That is a low blow here on day 1.
Please explain.
Well, I think the only explanation is it does happen, doesn't it? It's a bit weird. You don't know why it happens. Kind of just comes from nowhere, but Nguyen Anh Tuan, he's got to settle himself here. There's a bit of distance. He's not out the blocks, is he? He's under it. He is under it. Why is it so hard as well? He's worried about these pockets, I'm sure, in Vietnam, in the pool halls, where these players have grown up. They might not be used to pockets this snug, Phil.
That was the surprising aspect of the shot, though, wasn't it? Why play at that pace? He's missed a dolly 8-ball, then a 9 he could easily have converted. This rack could well be one of those quintessential turning points.
This is thin, but it's there. A sigh of relief from Nguyen Anh Tuan to finally win that rack.
So easily, Nguyen could have found himself 3-1 adrift He should be 3-1 adrift, but it was a very simple pot missed by Finnegan. Then the 9-ball went astray shortly afterwards, and that's why we were all tied up at 2-2. To Nguyen Anh Tuan's immense relief, no doubt. Our pal Jeremy Jones has gone back in front against Babkan Melkonyan at 6-5. Something of a marathon, that match. Danny Olsen 7-3 up on Paul Song. Oliver Lawrence now 5-3 on Antonius Kakaris. Mohamed Sufi having to dig deep. He's on the hill against Lin Sung Han at 8-7. Also on the hill, Roman Hebler 8-6 up on Matthew Wrigley. Sam Henderson 5-4 over Diogo Suarez, and Ricardo Mota 5-4 up on Hunter Lombardo.
He actually sort of miscued the break there. I was looking at the replay. I think the cue actually come off his hand. He's not quite with it at the minute, Nguyen Anh Tuan. I feel like we do see this with him though. He always seems to start off slow in tournaments, slow in matches. He did the same at the Premier League, back-to-back Premier Leagues. He did the same. Started off very slow, and then a few days in, started to get wins and started to play a lot better.
One result from a little earlier I didn't give you. Jose Alberto Delgado overcame Carlo Blasi 9-2.
I think he was trying to get the cue ball behind the 9, to be honest, as a safety shot. It's gone wrong. It's gone very wrong as well. Big wall of balls to get behind.
British sports fans of a certain vintage will remember a former British and European middleweight champion boxer by the name of Chris Finnegan, who fought Marvin Hagler during a good career. Well, here, this Finnegan needs to counter-punch now. But that won't help. That's another self-inflicted blow.
Keep saying it. I say it a lot, but you've got to try and keep these players under pressure, especially when you're getting chances, and you don't always get the chances in 9 balls. Sometimes, you know, your opponent can be running 3 and 4 racks. Next rack put you in safe. You leave a shot, and then they run another 2 or 3 racks, and you're 5-6-0 down. Easy, it can happen. So when you do get these opportunities at the start, it's so important you convert them.
Nguyen Anh Tuan went 1-0 ahead. He fell 2-1 behind. Now, though, exploiting the misjudgments of his opponent, he's back in front at 3-2. Remember, 9 racks the target for victory. The second stream of matches have begun. Naoki Oi has taken the first rack from Steve Nellis. Petra Urban 1-0 up on Jonas Suter Camino. Anthony Brabin from Cyprus. He's 3-2 up on Shane Conroy. Imran Majid, one of the UK's finest players, has shared the first 2 racks against Paul Taylor.
Yeah, he's way off the 1 ball at the minute. He's just not aiming correctly on the break. Does work like that as well. Until you start finding the sweet spot. Look where the 1 ball goes here, it goes high. Usually that means it's a little too full on the 1 ball, so you can make adjustments. He did play that. He played the cue ball off the back rail, knowing if he hits the 1 thin, he'll pop the pink 4. The gamble was where the 1 ball finishes. It hasn't finished good. I've noticed one thing. He likes to bring this jump cue round a lot. That'd wind me up, Phil. It's like a... It's not an unwritten rule, but... You know, the top pros, they get a bit scared when the jump cue gets pulled out. They prefer the players kicking at the ball.
You're right, though. This is the 3rd or 4th time he's just gone straight to the jump cue without any hesitation.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him kick at 1, though.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing to change his mind.
Don't believe there was a pot available, or attempted anyway. Good chance to lay the hook here. Get that one down near the purple 5. As long as you missed the double kiss. Cue ball in behind the 3. Oh, he's under hit this though. He has under hit this by somewhat.
Carl, I'm going to ask you, and I think it's very difficult to do, I know that. The most important thing now for Finnegan, it seems to me, is to forget the 8 ball in particular. In rack 4, yes, he missed the 9 as well, but the 8 was point blank range. It was a very bad mistake, and it's turned the whole contest. When in with another chance here. When you miss a ball of that simplicity, it really is important not to dwell. So how do you tell yourself not to dwell?
Well, you just have to look at the top players on the circuit. They just forget about it. It's part and parcel of the game. No one's going to play a season or career or tournament and not miss balls. You know, it happens all the time. That's just part and parcel of what we do. Maybe it's not missed balls. Sometimes it's easy positional shots or easy safety shots like the one he's just played. You know, we don't highlight them enough. It was such an easy safety shot, and that's what's led to this chance here. But you've got to sit in your chair and just keep battling. You know, you're still in the match. It's not over. It's not the end of the world, is it? It's just a game of pool.
Stephen Hendry, the 7 times world snooker champion, has a very interesting take on his game, but I think it definitely applies to pool as well. He said it's not the spectacular shots you knock in, it's the easy ones you miss. If you can eradicate the obvious mistakes, the bad mistakes, then you're in a good place. Now, that wasn't a bad mistake. He should have potted it, yes, but we've seen on more than one occasion already in the 2 matches we've brought to you that if you play with pace to those pockets, you have to be deadly accurate.
Yeah, we will definitely see this, especially when this table starts getting more play on it. You know, this is only the 2nd match. No one's been practicing on this table as well. Everyone practices on the outside tables. Again, they're just scaring the players. He doesn't have to take this on, though, actually. He can play off the left edge, get the cue ball down towards the 7, put the 5 on the top rail behind the 8. Well, that one slid in. That one slid in. So there's still a bit of play. There's still a bit of give on these tables. It's all about the pace you play it, looking at that one.
This has not been convincing by any means from Nguyen Anh Tuan, but he's now 3 balls away from doubling up on Finnegan. And we said it at the time, so it's not a matter of hindsight. That 4th rack could well be so influential. Not at his best yet. Regardless, he's 4-2 ahead. I can tell you over on table 15, Roman Hebler and Matthew Wrigley, they're hill-hill. 8 racks each. Both desperate to avoid being sent to the 1-loss side of the draw immediately. Chris Alexander, 7-5 up on Joe Prince. Petri Makinen has now got to the hill against Alan Brown, 8-6. Makinen, who's played very well indeed on the World Cup stage for Finland.
See how the break shots changed. He's been let off in a couple of racks and now he's found the sweet spot. Look at the 1. Straight in the middle pocket, and it looks like he's got a shot at the 2-ball. Is this the time we start to see a little bit of a breakaway in this match?
An interesting match about to begin on table 7. Robbie Capito of Hong Kong against Phil Wildman from right here in the UK. Don't underestimate Wildman's chances on home soil. Now that's a match where we might see an upset.
Nice use of spin there to get the cue ball down.
Wanted more angle on the brown 7-ball. Very well played, and the kiss on the 9 pretty much seals Finnegan's fate, you would assume, in rack 7. Remember, Andy Finnigan was on the threshold of leading 3-1. Then he missed a routine bread and butter 8-ball. He then missed the 9 from mid-distance. And ever since, Nguyen Anh Tuan looking more and more like the winner.
It's a little bit like Vincent Fake. This Finnegan's in a similar spot. He's had opportunities. He just can't convert them, and it just kind of builds up. It is hard to get back into a match, but you've just got to try and forget about it. Try and get yourself back into the match and get the pressure back on your opponent. This time he misses the 1.
Now that's the nightmare break in many respects. Breaking dry, leaving a simple pot on the 1. The 2, the 3, basically everything in the open.
Yeah, 2-ball looks like it passes the pink 4. If not, he's going to have to play a bit of a positional shot. Lost the cue ball here. It's hard to tell whether he was playing for that corner or the left centre. another chance. Another mistake. Another easy opener for Nguyen Anh Tuan. Certainly the pot position's a little awkward. Oh, this looks good. Played for the right centre. He's played it perfect. This is lovely.
The multitude of fans of Mohammed Sufi will be delighted to know he's beaten Lin Sung Han. It was tough, very hard fought. He came through 9-7.
Just wants to float past this ball. He could play for it up in the top corner. Yeah, here we go. Has he got enough pace? Yeah, it has. Just connect the dots, basically. Might have to play for the 7 ball in the centre pocket again, unless he can pinch this ball in. Doesn't go past the 8. Yeah, you can see he just slightly overrun the previous positional shot. So he might have to just pinch a bit of the pocket. He's actually swapping hands as well here, so this is not going to make things easier. There's the cue ball. Well, he's got a shot. He's got more than a shot, that's okay. It's always awkward when you're close to the ball though, Phil. That's why I missed that 8 ball, the one you were giving me some jip about before.
Yes, it was a low blow as you described, but I couldn't resist.
I don't blame you, to be fair. I like it. Well, Nguyen Anh Tuan doesn't fall at the hurdle of a close ball. It's not been clinical, this match. It's all about the scoreline and getting the win, though. Oh, this is nice indeed. This is very nice.
If ever there was a turning point in a pool match, it was rack 4. Andy Finnegan should be leading 3-1 after that rack. In fact, it was 2-2, and now it is 6-2. Nguyen Anh Tuan in control. Now, Carl Boys, having unretired, he's got a match to prepare for. So, he's left the commentary box. Jeremy Jones still unavailable, battling your way out there. And so I'm joined, I'm delighted to say, by one of the recent winners, Chris Alexander, who's just overcome Joe Prince 9-5. Before we go any further, Chris, welcome into the commentary box. And
Thanks.
How are conditions?
Oh, the tables are brilliant. They're brilliant. Tables are brilliant. They're brilliant every year, so they're tighter again this year, I think. But it's going to lead to a bit more drama.
Yeah, Carl was saying just how tight they are. Can you explain to our viewers how they differ from normal club tables?
Well, they're at least an inch smaller, but the shape of the pocket's a bit different as well. So they spit the balls out a bit more. So you're going to see that happen over the next few days. As the pockets tighten up, the tables get a bit more worn in. You're going to see even great players miss a few balls down the rails, I think.
And clearly that influences shot selection. You have to be a little more subdued.
Yeah, you absolutely do, yeah. So the major winners so far over the last couple of years, shot selection is the key part of their game. Execution almost comes second. Shot selection's so key at this level on these tables.
You were playing, so you wouldn't have seen this, but in the first few racks, Andy Finnigan looked quite dangerous, but then he missed an absolutely dolly 8-ball to that bottom left-hand pocket. Then he missed the 9, a tougher shot, but it was one he should have potted. And ever since, Nguyen Anh Tuan has been the man in command.
He's a good player, Andy. Good amateur. He plays out on McGoldricks in Scotland. That's the premier club in the country. I think he actually worked there. But he's a really good player. He can take some scalps. Antoine's sort of coming into his own now the last few months, really showing his class.
For someone like yourself, Chris, to be involved in a tournament of this magnitude, it must be a great thrill.
It's a big thrill for me. I was kind of lucky. I got it in at the tail end of the 128 professionals. So that gives me supposedly easier draws in the first round. It doesn't always work out that way. But to be involved in events like this, it's been a long time coming, I think.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, what your pool career has been like so far.
So I live in Jersey in the Channel Islands, so that's about 10 miles from France. We don't have a great deal of pool there, but no 9-ball tables at all, really. So I kind of come to the tournaments a couple of days early to get a bit of practice, try and get used to conditions, but it's a bit of a roller coaster, if I'm being honest. It's I've got to take it as it comes. So hopefully the next couple of years I can win some more matches, move up the rankings a bit. I think I'm around about 90th at the moment, so I'd be scraping to get into Saudi. I need a good event here to get in that top 100 or retain top 100 spot. But yeah, that's the goal really at the minute. That's a good shot.
We were out in Vietnam at the Hanoi Open last year, and I was explaining to the viewers just how popular the game is there in the Vietnamese capital city. There are pool clubs everywhere. It's got such a deep footprint, and of course that was reflected in the interest in the tournament. The crowds were off the charts.
Yeah, and I think one of the Vietnamese guys played in the Scottish Open there at the weekend, and 113,000 people tuned into the stream to watch, which is just incredible. You know, the pool numbers are just getting bigger and bigger. The game's, it's a global sport as opposed to maybe snooker, which we're used to in this country. So it's got so much potential.
Yes, the thing is with the streaming figures as well, which, as you say, defied belief. That would have been good at any time of the day, but it was towards the middle of the night when he actually captured that title.
Yeah. So you're going to have to play a good shot here. This game's not over yet. Nice containing safety.
So your first victim, Joe Prince, had you played him before?
No, I didn't know Joe before. He's a good English 8-ball player from what I understand. And I think he's just moved over to 9-ball recently. He's got a lot of, he's got a lot of skills, good touch, but the table's caught him out a few times, which is kind of my advantage, having played on them before. It's a good hit there from Andy. You can see what he's trying to do here, pushing the one around. Try and get some cover behind the 7, possibly. I'm not sure if that shot's on. But he's really powered it. Nice little rub there. Andy's not happy.
It really is amazing just how this contest has been transformed since that terrible mistake in rack 4.
Great hit. Where's the cue ball? He's going to be happy with that.
So just noticing here as I peruse the draw that your next match, Chris, is against Mickey Kraus from Denmark, who I can tell you, if you don't already know, which I'm sure you do, Mickey is a real prospect.
Mickey's a real good player. It's only a matter of time before he moves up a level into the kind of upper echelons of players, in my opinion. He's got bags of talent. Hopefully he plays bad later on against me.
Well, talking of bad, that was a shot that definitely did not work out as planned. Catching the far bump of the middle pocket means the one is on. Can Finnegan recapture some of that early effectiveness?
Ooh, no. Straight up off the shot there. Jumped up in the air.
You see this in all cue sports at all levels, even the very highest level. A player can be going along pretty nicely, decently. All of a sudden, they make one mistake and everything falls apart. Now, that was a be careful what you wish for shot.
Oh, dear. Yeah, we saw it last night in the snooker too. Kyron was going along pretty good. Started missing a couple, jumping up on the shots. Just didn't look like he was going to go over the winning line at one point, but he managed to do it, so congratulations to him.
I think the great American golfer Ben Hogan had the right idea. He told himself before every round that you're going to play 2 or 3 bad shots, so forget about it when you do play one.
It's a great mindset. Much easier said than done.
Exactly. It's much easier said than done. When we're observing it from a distance, as we are here, it's so easy to say, and we do in commentary all the time, he needs to forget about it. But actually doing it is very different from telling someone to do it.
Absolutely. The top 4 or 5 guys on the World Tour at the minute, they're all mentality monsters. They can really control themselves, put things out of their mind. It's such a great skill to have.
Now there, the attempted bank on the 2, illustrating just how tight that middle pocket is.
They're almost non-existent from a certain angle, the middles. Ooh. I wonder if Andy can get at that cue ball with the rest.
The worrying aspect about that shot from Nguyen's perspective, yes, you can miss them, of course, but there was perceptible movement on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, just got there. I'm not sure if this 3 goes past the 5 into the bottom left pocket. Nope. So another good shot required here. Gonna have to chop this back, try and hold the cue ball. You see he's really digging into it. Nicely done. Great shot. Big rack this. Keeps Andy somewhat in the game if he can get to 3. So he's had a good look at that 7-9 combo. He's got the right angle.
Knocked in a good combo to win rack 2.
Something in his eye line. Someone moving about in the crowd. Okay.
that is just what's required from Andy Finnigan. When Antoine had the chance to forge even further ahead, maybe we've just seen another transformational moment in the match. Incredibly, by the way, considering play today began at 10 o'clock local time and it's now 2 hours, 10 minutes later, still some matches that were in the first wave are ongoing. Sam Henderson, 7-6 up on Diogo Soares. Ricardo Mota from Portugal on the hill against Hunter Lombardo of the USA, 8-6. Jeremy Jones, who's due to be commentating on match 3 of our stream today, he's on the hill against Babkan Melkonyan from Romania at 8-7. Some really hard-fought affairs, including Oliver Lawrence, 8-5 up on Antonius Kakaris.
Is Troy Deeney the next game up?
Troy Deeney was supposed to play in our third match, but sadly he's been forced to pull out of the tournament with injury. So consequently, our third match will be Anton Raga of the Philippines against Nguyen Anh Tuan of Vietnam. I love watching Raga play. What a class act.
He's an absolute beast of a player. We don't get to see him enough. I wish we could see him more, but he's an absolute animal. So Roman Fury's in the draw as well. I don't know if you noticed that. That's Tyson's half-brother, is it? Tyson Fury's half-brother?
I didn't know that.
I think it is. Unless there are 2 Roman Furies.
So that sport's all about a count to 10. This is all about a race to 9. One scoreline I have to tell you about. Seoa of South Korea, the lady player, 4-1 up on Ko Ping Han, the youngest of the 3 hugely talented Ko brothers.
Ooh. Okay, a little bit twitchy from Antoine at the minute. You think Andy's got to take these to really give himself a hope in the match? He's lost the white a little bit here. I'm not sure if he was looking for a contact on the 9 or the 5 after that. Big one coming up. You see a little bit of head movement again there on the shot. I'm not sure if that's dressed up. I think it has.
Yeah, as he was addressing the cue ball there, it seemed to me as though he was putting left-hand spin on the white, and maybe that's why he overcut it. Just the kind of chance that Nguyen would have craved after the last couple of racks haven't been his best.
Okay, he wasn't looking for that contact on the 7. He's trying to come round the back, but he's got away with it just about, I think. Doesn't look too happy with where he's left himself. He's going to have to spin the cue ball 2 rails at least, I think. These are the type of shots that are getting spat out at the minute. They're really rattling and getting spat out. So we'll see where. Be interesting to see what pace he plays this at. Oh, and that wasn't close, to be fair. That was never going in.
Well, he's got a good cue ball, at least. But I agree with you. That kind of shot, which has become almost a certainty on certain tables, has now become a real terror.
Yeah, you must have really seen the difference as well from commentating years ago to now. It's a completely different game almost.
Absolutely right, yeah. Absolutely. And I think it's definitely an improvement, because what it enables the top players to do is utilise their elevated skill level.
Yeah, absolutely. It does separate people out. It absolutely does. And it did look a little silly on TV years and years ago. Giant pockets, balls flying in from everywhere. Now it looks more like a professional level game. Okay, played a two-way shot there. You just wonder, is Antoine going to be able to... Where's he going? He's left this. Strange shot to play at that pace.
Yeah, we must also make the point that although the pockets are tight, the actual playing conditions are pristine. So the two things together, that's a perfect environment to show your skills. Now, this is the kind of pot that Finnegan missed on the 9 in rack 4.
Stayed very still that time. Well executed. It needs to go. It needs to travel. Not sure what side of the 9 he was playing on there.
You have to think winning this rack is a must for Finnegan, so this pot is a must.
Oh, no. Okay, well, he's got away with it.
It's purely and simply tension, pressure, the expectation of being out there in an alien environment in front of the cameras.
Absolutely, and Andy coming in as a qualifier. Antoine is a good professional for sure. There's a lot of gap in experience there. There's a lot of difference. Can't quite make his mind up what he wants to do here. Is he shooting at it? Your guess is as good as mine, Phil. I've got no idea what was going on there.
Yeah, that was the old answers on a postcard, wasn't it? I will say this, having missed the 9 ball he just has, you would think Andy Finnigan would be second favourite to knock this one in, but it doesn't quite work out that way sometimes.
Oh.
Too close for his own good.
Yeah. Yeah. Stayed still on the shot that time. Nice strike. Just hasn't gone on a club table. That goes in every day, but we're not at a club.
Exactly. We are not at a club. We're at the Telford International Centre. Day 1 of the Bedvictor UK Open. And maybe we haven't seen the end of the match there, but it could be the beginning of the end, because after a couple of racks where he was wobbling a little, Nguyen Anh Tuan now has a healthy 7-3 lead. 2 more required. Jeremy Jones still on the hill against Babkin Malconian at 8-7. Also on the hill, Sam Henderson from the USA over Diego Suarez. Oliver Lawrence 8-5 up on Antonio Skakaris. Steve Nellis acquitting himself well against Naoki Oi, only 4-3 down.
Great cue, Stephen. Plays all cue sports. Very, very solid cueist. I think Stephen's problem is he's about 6'6", so the table's really low for him this week. This is a real tester. It's wriggled in. These really have to go if he wants to give himself a chance in the match. I'm not saying they're easy, but you should be getting them.
While we're in the still relatively early stages of this rack, let me give you some of the completed scorelines. I've not mentioned yet. Roman Hebler came through 9-8 against Matthew Wrigley. Cliff Castelline from Belgium 9-6 over Antti Solar. After being held early, Bernie Regalario 9-2 over Ashak Nathwani, and that sets up a mouth-watering second-round match between Regalario and Nguyen Tuan. Talk about a tough draw early on.
Did I see Stuart Bingham in the building earlier? Did he make it here?
Apparently so. He's in the field together with Gary Wilson. Bingham, of course, coming off that run to the semi-finals of the World Snooker Championship at the Crucible. The way he played against Ronnie O'Sullivan in the quarterfinals, and indeed in his previous matches, I honestly thought he was going to go all the way.
Yeah, after the Ronnie win, I thought it might have been his year again. He's had a quiet few years on the World Snooker Tour, but bags of experience. He must have been a pro for 20-something years now.
Yeah, almost 30.
Almost 30, wow. Ah, Andy.
The missed pot was bad enough, but the scratch, that should end the rack.
Yep. Insult to injury.
Yes, talking about Stuart Bingham, he's one of those fellows, Chris, that doesn't matter what he wins, he's still got that half cue will travel mentality. He just loves playing cue sports anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, we went for dinner with him last year in Germany at the European Open, and he just loves the game. He loves any cue sport, I think. So he was talking to a lot of the American players, trying to pick up a bit of insight about the game from Hunter Lombardo and a couple of those guys. So he's not just here to make up numbers. Wouldn't be surprised to see him make the last 64 if he gets there. Who knows?
Always remember when it comes to the crossover between snooker and pool, how the views of certain people can be totally incorrect. When we went to the US Open a couple of years ago and they made Judd Trump favourite to win it, the bookmakers, talk about getting it incorrect or what.
Judd definitely wouldn't have made himself favourite. I don't know who was helping the bookies do the prices that week, or whether they were just protecting themselves or trying to encourage some betting on Judd. But that was absolutely insane.
Back to this match, and now Nguyen Anh Tuan in total control.
9, 9, 9. Oh, it's there. Well,
9 it is, Chris. How about that? What a golden break, what a time, and in the end, a satisfying win, although not a satisfying performance for Nguyen Anh Tuan. The golden break to seal everything. There will be regrets from Andy Finnegan, particularly the way, and I'm not slugging off here, not criticising overly, the way he threw away rack 4. That was the turning point. From that point, Nguyen Anh Tuan went on to a comfortable 9-3 victory, but not a convincing one. So, as I say, unfortunately, Troy Deeney, the Premier League goal scorer extraordinaire, who was a hero for Watford, we were looking forward to him playing in this tournament, showing us his pool skills. Well, it's not going to happen. Not this year, anyway. He's had to withdraw due to injury, and consequently, he was due to play in match 3. He won't be anymore. Instead, taking to table 1 shortly will be Anton Raga against Nguyen Hai Dang. We'll be back shortly.
I'd have loved to have seen America versus the Philippines, Europe versus the Philippines.
And I think there will be the winner of the Moscone against Asia or against the Philippines at some stage. There's a different tournament.
There's definitely something on another event to do with Asia versus the Moscone Cup winner, and that's all part of the bigger plan.
We've seen plenty of perspiration. Now we're seeing inspiration.
Listen to the noise. This is to tie the match up.
It all would have been there for him. He's done it! And it will be the shock of the tournament.
Magnificent, marvellous, magical.
leading coping hand.